What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the God Next podcast. I'm your host, Mitch and Dono. My co-host, Donovan Moore.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we right back at y'all with some NBA content since the NFL season is over. Unfortunately, it is the first weekend without football. I'm kind of getting that Will Smith feeling on Fresh Prince. You know, the living room was empty. You just standing there and just feeling useless this weekend. But we're going to get into some NBA topics today. We're going to be talking about the CP3 injury and what it means for the Suns as they currently sit number one in the West. We're going to talk about who's going to wind up being the number one seed in the East since the standings are so close out East. And lastly, we're going to talk about if the All-Star Slam Dunk contest should be eliminated from All-Star Weekend after that poor performance that we just saw. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that type of stuff. And let's get into the action, man.
You ready, Playboy?
Yo, turn it up, Slay. I can't hear nothing.
The Phoenix Suns, man, let's talk about it. They're 48-10 currently right now. Right before the All-Star break, they were on a 7-game win streak right before the All-Star break, and Devin Booker was shooting like arguably his best from the three-point percentage. But I mean, right now he came back down to earth. He's at 36% as we speak. But yeah, they definitely had some title hopes. As we know, they all went to the finals last year. So how do you feel about the Suns' chances to stay afloat without CP3?
I feel like this is just the perfect opportunity for Devin Booker to remind people of how good of a player he was before Chris Paul got there. I know they weren't winning games. Phoenix wasn't a great team. But Devin Booker was still putting in work, man. We seen him put up 70 points one night, and they still lost. So it's like at some point you got to realize the man is talented. So I feel like this could further strengthen how good of a player he is, and I think it could even put him in the MVP conversation if Phoenix stays at that one seed and continues their playoff push, their number one seed push. Because how long is Chris Paul out? The rest of the season, right?
Basically, the regular season, he's done, bro. I think it was 6 to 8 weeks. So yeah, it's 2 months. Month and a half at this point. So that's playoffs right there. Smack dab in the playoffs.
Yeah, so if they stay the one seed throughout this whole time, because I know they still got some tough matchups left. I know they probably got to play the Lakers again, the Warriors, all the top teams in the West. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I think if they stay in that one seed, Devin Booker should get serious consideration for him. Just MVP, not to be the winner, but just put him in the combo more.
I agree. So what do you think about their guard depth behind CP3? They got Campaign and they got Aaron Holiday right there. Maybe Cam Johnson might get some extra reps as well. So how do you feel about their depth?
Campaign, for whatever reason, he's been working in Phoenix. We've seen him everywhere else, and we mostly knew him as just, bro, I would hit them folks or dance or something before the game, but we never talked about his actual basketball game. So he's been doing better in Phoenix. Aaron Holiday, I saw him firsthand with the Wizards. He's a solid player. He's young. He's built just like his brother. He plays defense, shoots just like him. He's athletic. I just think he didn't really get the right opportunity in Washington. They somehow always find a way to not use young talent correctly. We see what Gary Payton II is doing in Golden State, who is also on the Wizards as well. So I feel like they're still good there, and I think we could see Devin Booker play even more point guard, like I said earlier. I think we could see him putting up 6-7 assists tonight. That's not Chris Paul numbers, but that'll help for sure.
As far as his injury and how it goes for the Suns, I think that I don't think that they're going to stay number one in the West. I just want to go ahead and say that. I don't know how far the lead is right now per se. In the standings.
It's like 6 or 7 games.
6 or 7 games. They might drop 6 or 7. I don't know what their schedule looks like. Nothing like that. But I'm just going to go ahead and guess. I'm not going to say the Suns are who they are still, because we all saw, as you were talking about, Devin Booker wasn't really able to get that many wins with the Suns when it was just him. And DeAndre Ayton was there, but it's really taking Chris Paul to kind of get the most out of DeAndre Ayton over these last years. We've seen the best basketball from DeAndre Ayton after CP3 got there. And I think the CP just has a lot to do with that. So I don't know, leadership-wise and passing-wise, getting the offense set, like, that's a lot. Those are two main things that you need, especially to be like a solid contender. And Chris Paul, the level that he does it, there's no replacing that. No matter who you get, there really is no replacing that at this point. So I don't see the Suns being the number 1 seed. I can say that they'll drop probably to like 2 or 3 or something like that. But maybe something like that can help the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? If the Suns start to fall a little bit, some other teams start to get hot, some other teams get cold, you know, maybe they can shake and actually get in the playoffs and like be not in the play-in at all. So this could help out another team. You never know. Next up, man, we're going to be talking about the Eastern Conference standings. As of right now, my Miami Heat sit at number 1 in the East at 38-21. We got the Bulls with the exact same record, and they're on a 5-game win streak, 38-21. Got the Sixers that are 2 games back. You got the Cavs with the same record as them. So basically, everybody's just on top of each other. Pause. So who do you think is really going to come out on top here? Pause.
I think it might. I want to say Philadelphia. They're 2 games back. They're 2 games back at that one spot, and it's such a log jam at the top of the conference right now. Quick shouts to Cleveland, because who really expected Cleveland to be a top 4 team at the All-Star break? Them boys are playing great basketball out there, but to get back on track, I feel like it's going to be Philadelphia to add James Harden to the mix. You already got the MVP front runner, Joel Embiid. It just makes everybody's job easier. The only question I have about them is a reliable 3-point shooter, but they have so many scores now. Maxey as like their 4th option almost, because you still got Tobias Harris. So it's like Maxey's their 4th option, and he can go off for 20 points a night. So Philadelphia's got a really good team there, and I think they could get to that 1 seed with they're only 2 games behind.
So do you not believe in Danny Green anymore? You're not a believer in Danny Green as a shooter.
I forgot they had Danny Green. He's not Steph Curry. Let me say that.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely not.
Danny Green can shoot, but he's way too inconsistent. Way too inconsistent. He jacks up some shots where you're just like, you're confused. Like it's like you've never been that guy.
I think the best Danny Green that we've seen was with the Spurs. After he left the Spurs, I feel like I haven't really seen the same Danny Green. Shooter-wise, he has, I feel like, become a better defender, though, over in the years. But, I mean, he's a little older now, so definitely a little bit less of a defender, a little bit less of a shooter as well. So I do like that point of them not really having a 3-point shooter. And I like the 76ers point, honestly, of them being number 1 in the East. But I think it's Giannis time, man. I really do. I'm going to go with the Bucks here. I think that their starting lineup, man, I think it was what? I can't remember what the record is. I think they've lost like 3 or 4 games when all of them play together between Holiday, Middleton, and Giannis. So
they just added Ibaka too, didn't they?
They added Ibaka. They added Javon Carter just like an hour ago. They got Grayson Allen right now. They got who's it? They got rid of Dante DiVincenzo, so it's Pat Connaughton. That's who I was thinking about.
Connaughton's hurt. He's hurt.
Ibaka's hurt?
No, Connaughton.
Oh, Connaughton's hurt. Oh yeah, I think that's why they picked up at JC actually. So I like the Bucks honestly to make a run here. If their big 3 can get some reps together and everybody can stay healthy, I like them to wind up on top of the standings. But I love the pick of the 76ers because, you know, James Harden is definitely a regular season player, and with him forcing his way out of another situation, I think he's going to be kind of motivated to show something here. Because, I mean, if it don't work out here, man.
We might see Houston numbers. Like the first games back from James Harden, you might see Houston type numbers, triple doubles, 35 points. Because
I agree.
He's going to have a chip on his shoulder. He's going to have something to prove in the regular season. Now, the playoffs is where I'm going to start questioning him. But right now, in the regular season, he can definitely get Philly to that 1 seed.
The question is, do you think that Harden's success is going to impede on Embiid's success that we're seeing have an MVP season right now? And kind of the whole team runs through him. So do you think that this going like that Harden move's going to have any negative things for Embiid?
I don't think so because it's different. Embiid's not a guard, so Embiid's not going to come down, come off screens, demanding the ball, going to dribble past somebody. He's going to do post up, or if he has the ball in the mid-range, he'll just pull up for a jump shot. So I think they'll be able to complement each other's game perfectly because James Harden, he's a creative player. We have to admit that for sure. He's very crafty, not just scoring, but also how he passes and how he manipulates defenses. So I think that'll be almost a perfect tandem because they can both shoot the ball very well.
That's true. Do you see them winning a championship, the 76ers?
As of right now, no.
Okay. Because
I just don't know who that consistent shooter is. And outside of Harden and Embiid, the scores on their team aren't that consistent either. Tobias Harris is not that consistent.
For what he makes, epitome of inconsistent.
Exactly. He'll have 25-point nights against like the Wizards. Then he'll go play the Bucks 3 nights later and have 15. You know, so I feel like without that dead eye, I mean, maybe some people might say Korkmaz is a shooter, but I don't really consider him like a knockdown shooter. So
I'm not believing in Korkmaz to get it done in the playoffs. I'm not gonna believe in that.
Well, whoever has to play, if Brooklyn stays in the 8th seed, whoever has to play Brooklyn first round, that's gonna be ridiculous.
Oh yeah, you see what Kyrie said on Twitch. He was on Twitch with somebody. He was like, well, "Look what our squad does after the All-Star break." So definitely watch out for the Nets, man. I think they're trying to turn up here in the second half. Now to move on to our last topic of today, we got, should the NBA get rid of the dunk contest? Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I had the dunk contest on. I had All-Star weekend on, but I fell asleep. I was knocked throughout the dunk contest. Only thing I saw like maybe the last round, but then when I saw Juan Toscano Anderson and Obi Toppin was in it, I fell back asleep. I turned back over. I didn't want to see that personally. If it wasn't Jalen Green, I wasn't interested. So, how did you feel about the dunk contest, man?
Yeah, I feel like this one wasn't really a great one, and I don't know. I feel like in order to get that hype back about the dunk contest, you need stars. You need almost superstars to get back in the dunk contest. Like, I'm trying to think of one. Like Ja Morant, Anthony Edwards, Miles Bridges, and if he's healthy, Zion. You put them four in a dunk contest, everybody's tuning in. You got to have people that people actually want to see. Like, you know how back in the day when Vince Carter would do it, people were excited. They were hyped up to see that. So you got to put somebody out there that people want to see. Congrats to these players on making the NBA and stuff like that, but to casual fans who don't really know basketball, they're not going to know who those players are. So they're not going to be hyped up to see these guys dunk. They want to see the players they actually hear about and are getting marketed dunk. So I feel like they got to put more of the superstars in the lineup.
That's a great point. I think that's an amazing point. Juan Toscano Anderson should have never been in a dunk contest in his career. But the only issue is I think Dwayne Wade kind of owes the NBA some money here, man. I think that his voting job in the dunk contest is single-handedly the reason why Ja Morant, why Zion Williamson are not in the dunk contest. Ja literally came out and after watching the Aaron Gordon dunk or the dunk contest and watch him lose, he was like, "Yeah, he got fleeced." And basically, I'm not gonna do the same thing because y'all gonna fleece me, and I agree. Like, it's just crazy. I think D Wade kind of ruined the dunk contest, and it's not talked about enough. But yeah, I think that definitely we had to get some star names in there. But now it's going to have to come out the NBA's pocket where they're going to have to play. They're going to have to pay their players to get in the dunk contest. It's going to be some serious incentives. Like, I guess the winner get like $2 million, and then $1 million of that goes to their charity or something like that. But yeah, they're not just going to willingly do it anymore because, I mean, they did fleece Aaron Gordon. He gave us one of the best dunk contests I've seen between those 2 years, and he got nothing to show for it. And I think that's kind of crazy. If anything, they should have got a co. They should have got a co-award. And I said that at the time because they put on such a show. Like, I feel like you can't get mad at either of them. They were getting 50s after 50s.
And the next year because it's like, dang, somebody got to be the winner here since we tied last year.
Yeah, I agree. But it's like, dude, but those dunks were ridiculous. Like, I had to go back and watch the dunk contest after this one because this one was so trash. Like, I think both of them should have gotten an award. At some point, like, you got to reward both people if it's, like, that close. But I don't know. I'm going to get into something with that later on. But last thing I want to talk about is Damian Lillard, man. Let's talk about it. So I saw something on Twitter where somebody was like, I could argue that Damian Lillard is ducking the grind, running away from the grind by staying in Portland and by being repeatedly mediocre and basically with a team with no championship aspirations. I think that person has a point because literally, if you're not working toward getting a championship, what are you grinding for exactly? So he's saying he's not ducking the grind. I feel like you are ducking the grind. And he was like, I don't want to join the super team, but it's like, there's something in between being on a team that has no chance at all and being on a super team. A super team is like you joining up with KD, Kyrie, or whatever like that, and you're on the Nets or something like that. If you go to the Knicks, you have a better chance of making the playoffs. You can still be the man, and your team actually has a chance, bro. Like, it's just crazy. I don't understand it. I mean, you're not a super team at the same time because, like, it's very fair if you're on the Knicks. Like, you can be stopped. You can also not get stopped. Like, it doesn't know. Like, nobody knows, bro. So how do you feel about that?
You made a great point. Those are all facts that you pointed out. I feel like maybe he means it from almost the Giannis standpoint, where it's like, I want to stay where I was drafted until we figure it out and we can get a championship. The problem with that is, Portland hasn't really shown him anything to prove to him that they want to go get a championship. At least Milwaukee, they went and got Drew Holiday. They made moves and put players around Giannis to put him in a situation as he was evolving to ultimately get that championship. So, I mean, it's arguments to be made on both sides. You made great points. So, I don't know, man. Dame's got to figure it out. It might be in his best interest to leave. People know he's loyal. We've seen what you're about. You've been there 10, 11 years.
But seriously, bro, I feel like at some point,
build the team on your back to conference finals.
Seriously,
you got nothing to show for it.
Nothing to show for it, bro. Like, I think it's a whole different situation with the Bucks and Giannis, or with like the Mavericks and Dirk. Like, because you can clearly see that the Mavericks and the Bucks are both being aggressive whenever like there's free agents and when there's buyout people. Like, they're going and getting people. Like Serge Ibaka, they just went and got. I can name like 3-4 guys that they got in the offseason that are like doing things for the team right now. Grayson Allen wasn't on the team. Serge Ibaka wasn't on the team. Like, Drew Holiday wasn't on the team. Bogdanovich was supposed to be on the team. That's the only like incompetence I've seen with the Bucks recently, was like losing Bogdanovich. Because honestly, if they had Bogdan, they would be ridiculous right now. Absolutely ridiculous. They'd have a big forward. So, and then the Trailblazers, like Dame goes to the Trailblazers and they're like, cool, you need help? Let me get you Evan Turner. Let me get you Norman Powell. Like, there's just no sign of competence here, bro. And it's like at some point, LeBron had to leave, AD had to leave, KG had to leave, Harden had to leave, KD had to leave. So many people had to leave their situations to like win a championship, and it's like Dame can't see that. I don't get it, bro. Evan Turner, are you kidding me? Thanks for tuning in to the God Next podcast, man. That's gonna do it for this episode. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that type of stuff. Leave your comments about things we talk about, all of that, and we'll catch y'all next week. Peace.